Hey guys, Constance here from Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So, I have not checked my trail cameras in quite a while. And last night, my son Jack was outside about midnight or so when he heard a huge ruckus in the woods, very close to the house, like just inside the tree line. There was crashing, there was carrying on, and I realized, I've got trail cameras all over the place, but I have not been maintaining them. I have just been busy. And most of the cameras probably have dead batteries. So I'm going through, I'm looking to see which ones need batteries, which ones need SD cards, if any of them are still working, because I'm sure, like I said, lots of dead batteries. But I think we're definitely, considering what he heard last night, we are definitely going to want to be keeping an eye on things. So those of you who are new here, or in case you don't know, we live in northern Alabama. And northern Alabama, or where we're at, has all sorts of wildlife. And here on the homestead, there's, cool wildlife. And, well, frankly, I love to see all wildlife, but some wildlife is trouble. And some of that wildlife likes to help itself to the animals that live here, like owls, hawks, things like that. And then of course we've got bobcats. Which I've seen recently. Couple weeks ago, I was out putting the farm to bed, and it was dark, and I heard a noise, and I looked, shined my flashlight, and I saw two bobcats running along the fence line. And the goats were all at the far end of the fence. I don't think they liked seeing those bobcats. Oh, that one's still good. And the battery's not dead. And of course, in addition to the bobcats, we have lots and lots of coyotes. We've seen coyotes on camera many, many times. We've dispatched several of them. I just took care of one a few weeks ago, as a matter of fact. Ran right up behind the fence. I was sitting at my kitchen table, saw movement in my peripheral, looked up, and there was a coyote. So I took care of that one. And really none of those things, the hawks, the bobcats, the coyotes, none of those really worry me. I don't ever feel any sense of danger or anything like that, because I know that those kind of animals are very skittish, they don't like humans, they don't want anything to do with humans, and they will run away quickly. Even though I did have an instance several years ago with a pack of coyotes, but that kind of stuff is super rare. Now that said, there is one creature that does give me pause, and that is the wild hogs. Wild hogs are highly territorial, and they will not hesitate to come after a human. if they feel like you are encroaching upon their space, or if it's a sow with babies. And last night, what Jack heard in the woods was wild hogs. He heard them tearing around in the woods. He heard them snorting. It was hogs, so the hogs are back. From time to time, we see evidence of them. And I'm listening because I can hear something moving on both sides of the trail here. And it's very deceptive because when you've got a lot of leaves on the ground, squirrels can be very loud. And so I'm looking around for signs of them rooting. And before you worry, I do have Betsy with me. About 2 years ago, I did sort of have a run-in. I had looked out my window to discover an animal out in the pasture, and it's not unusual to look out there and see something, whether it's a deer or coyote or armadillo or what have you. But as soon as I saw it, I knew that this was not a usual creature. It was very oval shaped, it was very dark, and as I grabbed my binoculars, it lifted up its head, and I knew immediately it was a wild hog. Now, here in Alabama, we have feral hogs, which are domesticated hogs that have gotten loose and gone wild, just like you would have a feral cat. But we also have wild hogs, the different species, the dark brown and hairy kind of things. And that's exactly what this was. And so I grabbed my rifle, and I thought I had gotten it, but it ran away. And I waited a while, then I came out here into the woods, just like now, and I was actually, I don't think I had my camera with me at the time. But I was walking around and came through the woods and came out here to the trail, and lo and behold, right around this area, I saw something dark on the ground. And I will walk through here pretty frequently, so when there's something out of place, like a tree has come down or something like that, I'm going to notice it. Well, this dark thing that looked like a stump caught my eye, and as I approached it, I realized it was that wild hog, and I thought, oh, well, maybe I did get it after all. And so right as I got, I don't know, maybe 10 feet, 15 feet away from it, its eye opened, and it looked at me, and pew! It bolted through the woods. So I ran back in the house, got my son, Jack. Mr. Smith was at work at the time. This was pre-COVID, so he actually went to work. And Jack and I came out here with our rifles, and we hunted and hunted all over for hours. Because I thought, well, maybe I had gotten it after all, and it just wasn't dead. Well, that was the end of it. We never saw it again. And there's been a couple times where we've come out into the woods and we've seen evidence of the hogs being around. A few months ago, well, no, actually it was last summer, I was out working along one of the fence lines and saw serious evidence. It looked like the woods had been ripped apart with a tiller. I mean, everything was turned around and just a mess. And so of course immediately I came out, I put cameras everywhere, but I never saw any further evidence of them and never caught them on camera. But they're back again. So maybe this time I will. I've gotten them on camera before, but it has been a while. And walking around through here, up in this area, you know, I've pulled a few SD cards from cameras. They're still working. I don't see any evidence of the hogs in this area, but further on up into the woods that way, which is closer to our home, that's where Jack heard them, and I haven't gone up that way yet. But I'm going to go ahead and check the SD cards that I have pulled so far, and then I'm going to grab some batteries because I do have cameras that need to be charged up. Now I will say too that wild hogs aren't just, of course, a danger to people. They're a danger to pretty much the whole farm. I mean, they will tear through a fence, going after feed, going after anything that smells edible, really. And, you know, to crop farmers, they're extremely destructive. And so there's pretty much open season for wild hogs here year-round because they are so destructive and so dangerous and invasive. So we will see what happens. Mr. Smith and Jack have the drone out. I don't know where it is, but I can hear it. Oh, there it is. I don't think you'll ever see it. But maybe they're filming and I can get you some footage. Alright, well, that's what I was afraid of. It having been winter and super cold and not coming out here for a few months to check the cameras, my batteries were pretty much all dead, all but one camera. But that one camera did catch a couple of things, although I think maybe a raccoon or something climbed on the tree that the camera was on and got it all wonky. So they're not great photos, but I did see some coyotes. I saw some deer, some bobcats. So as I said, there's still animals around, but I didn't catch the hogs. However, the camera that I caught those animals on was nowhere near where Jack heard them last night. So I've got one more camera that I think has batteries in it, but I'm gonna have to run to the store because I'm somehow out of batteries. They just grow legs and walk away. But I will run and grab them. I am gonna go ahead and move this one camera that I think has functioning batteries, and I'm going to move it over to the area where Jack heard the ruckus, and we'll see if we get anything. Now I will say that hogs are not the only animal that makes me nervous, but it's the only one that I really think I even have a chance of seeing here at the homestead. The other animal that makes me nervous is alligators. And I know, if you've been watching for a while, you know that I love going kayaking and that I do want to actually lay eyes on an alligator. I did have a possible close encounter with one, but I don't know for certain that it was an alligator, so I can't claim it. And the area that I kayak in a lot does have alligators in it. Everybody knows that. They've been photographed, everybody's seen them, except me. And the water that we have back through there is the same body of water. But I've never seen an alligator either. And I don't think I'm going to run into an alligator, but I could run into a hog. And so those I definitely keep an eye out for out here in the woods. Hi, babies! What's going on? I know it's almost treat time, huh? Yeah? Hi, Sophie! Hi, baby! But in any case, if the hogs are coming back around, we might need to do a little bit of hunting. We'll see. We'll see. So that is it for today. I will keep you guys updated, and if I get something on camera or in my sights, I will be sure to let you know. So we'll see what comes of it. So thanks for hanging out with me today in the woods at the homestead. I will talk to y'all next time.